Hi there! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I am your host, Froggy, and today I am making a drawing for summer featuring my Ostie Ester. You guys voted on the poll I made asking which character you would like to see me draw, and obviously, as you know, Ester won. Ester and Lilac were on the same percentage, but I was actually glad Ester won because I already had a pretty good idea for what I wanted to do. So let's not waste any more time and get into the speed paint, shall we? When I said I had a clear vision on what I wanted to draw today, I wasn't wrong. I did. I just didn't execute it very well. I was having a lot of trouble with this drawing for some reason. Not just because I didn't draw for more than a week, but because I never looked up or take pictures to use as a reference to help with poses. I used to for pose practices, but I really need to start doing that for final pieces. So from now on, I want to start taking pictures of myself doing the pose if I can't find exactly what I need on Pinterest. Let me talk to you more about the actual drawing now, though. So if you can already tell, Esther is at the beach holding her hand up near her face since she's blocking out the sun. She's also sitting on a cooler because I didn't want to draw a chair, okay? I had a perfect idea going. Esther is also one of my more cooler type characters. What I mean by that is she likes the cooler weather and wearing layers, so the summer isn't really her cup of tea. Spoiler alert, that's why I make her facial expression kind of annoyed and sweaty looking. For her outfit, I just went with a plain top and shorts and wrote her classic punk on her top and just an orange stripe on her shorts. Nothing too fancy since she isn't an all out type of person, especially when it's hot. Also, this darn hand was so annoying to try and draw. Every time I drew it, it looked like a foot. And I have no idea why. It wasn't a happy day to draw hands, I'll tell you. Also, if you would like to know more about Esther and her story, you will have to wait for a future video. I'm planning on redesigning her and actually making her a story. I just randomly made her because I wanted to make another cool punk type character, but I never actually ended up making her a story. All I'm gonna say is this picture inspired me to make her actual cool story and look. I did like drawing her face and hair the most out of this whole picture. I did end up changing her mouth though, since it looked a little odd to me with her eyes being squinty. I will now let the video play for the rest of the sketching process, so sit back and enjoy the music. Alright, we are now on to the coloring part. I started with the background first, and tried my best with the perspective of it. It's not amazing, but it's the best I could do at the time. Anyway, I also did my painty style with the background. I usually do more of a painted look with backgrounds, and a cel-shaded, harsher look with the characters. I just think it looks pretty cool and complements each other well. Makes it seem like the background is blurred or further away sometimes. Especially with this drawing I did for Sakura Sketches. I didn't blur any of the background. That's literally just a brush. My amazing skill. What I do to color the whole character and not color outside of the line art, I took the selection layer from Speedpaint and pretty much colored the whole character blue, but when I completely fill it in and go to a color layer, it has these lines on the outside, and when I color outside of those lines, the color just disappears. It's such a handy layer slash tool to use while you're coloring. I use it like all the time now. So as I'm coloring the eyes, do you notice anything? Look at her pupils. That, my little froggies, is a key detail to Ester's design. If you can guess what that could mean, I will pin your comment. But good luck, it might be a tricky guess. I honestly really love coloring Ester's hair, especially with the shadow her hand made. Doing that was really fun and made her look more 3D in my opinion. To make her eyes pop out more, I colored the line art for her eyes like a dark red, and I really think it made her eyes look so much better. I also did the same with her top and shorts. Since it's a darker color, I didn't really want her clothes to look like they were glowing. Here I was just adding some light hitting her clothes and eyes, and I was giving her some sweat dripping down her face. It's probably 90 degrees outside. And I also made her face a little red too, since, I mean, she is real pale. She probably would get sunburn if she was outside long enough. Here I was just adding the finishing touches like a noise filter and my signature. I also just put Happy Summer because I thought the background needed a little extra something. And here's the finished picture of a summer day with Ester. This was really fun, like always, and I love how the lighting on her face came out for this. I still do wish I looked at a reference or warmed up my hand a bit first before drawing this, but that's okay. Now I know for next time. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you for voting on the poll, and thank you for watching. Have an amazing day or night, and goodbye for now. For her outfit, I just went with a plain top and shorts. I wrote her classic punk on her top as well. Wait. For her outfit, I just went with a plain top and shorts. I wrote her classic punk on her top and put an orange uh okay, yeah, no. Subscribe, please.